current grading approach.
We're starting off here, right? So we're doing a little fun little episode here where we got a queue in the background, and we got three members of the cast of the Sandlot. And while we're waiting for Goldberg, everybody's favorite podcast host to come in, we were allowing these guys to, wonder a bit if it was Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks. Somebody was requesting Goldberg from the, wrestling. I think he was the WCW at the time. And then Handsome here pops in, and everybody's disappointed. Well, speaking of disappointment,
we'll stick
Goldberg,
around.
The story's still being written, Cage. The story's still being written.
Listen, my Goldberg's a Philly guy. Vic's a Philly guy. Let's start right there because I know, you love Ben Simmons, Goldberg. So you want to talk about how, they get to rip his heart out or what?
You want me to kick it off? You want me to say how much I love Ben Simmons?
How much you love Ben Simmons? We know it. You got a crush on him.
I mean, these guys know everything starts with culture and leadership, right? So the direction that the Sixers go, it needs to be hard work, it needs to be leadership and things like that. And I think Victor could attest that. Yes, he is. He's a loyal Philly fan. Yeah. Victor, let's start with you. Talk to me about your childhood. How did you find your way into the Sandlot?
Well, I started pretty young. So by the time I did the Sandlot, I had already done a few things. Actually, the Sandlot was kind of like one of the last things I did as a kid. So at first it was like just another audition, you would go on 2, 3, 4, 5 auditions a week, and most of the time not ever hear anything back anyway. So you would just like go and do it and forget about it. And that's kind of what I did. I went right for the Sandlot and started thinking about other stuff. And then there was another call back and then another call back. And it was like the longest process, I think, that of anything that I'd been in, the casting process. Like there were just so many callbacks, and then they would bring us back and put like little groups of us together and see how we were with like some of the other kids that they were thinking about. And it was like a super long process.
Did you guys all meet on day one? Like when you guys met, was there any friction, or you guys just all, you, Marty, and Shade, did you guys hit it off from day one?
I think for the most part, we all kind of hit it off day one. I think we all met up at different times. The timeline, not how we met, but when we met is a little blurry, but once we all got to the Sportsman's Lodge, it was fun. It was family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think the first time we met was the reading at the Sportsman's Lodge, right? When we had the first actual reading.
Probably. They had like some of us, I think, had met at that point that like were local, but like Shane was coming from Florida and Tom was in Jersey, and
right.
Not everyone was even cast all at the same time. So like, yeah, some of us had met, but I think Marty's right. It was the table read.
Marty, I got to ask you this. Cage made a joke earlier, so I'm just going to layer on top of it. You're from the Jersey Shore. I hear from Seaside Heights. I imagine the Jersey Shore gave you a call.
From Northern California.
Even better.
Tom, maybe, are you thinking of Tom? Tom is from Jersey, but maybe not.
Tom's from Jersey. I may look like I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Jersey.
It's Sea City, anyway.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Tell us a story. Share a story that, Sandlot is the most popular movie for a lot of kids these days. I don't know if you guys know this. Kobe Bryant's family, it was like their family tradition to watch the Sandlot on July 4th. And it's actually coming up here in a few weeks. But tell us a story that, any one of you guys, Shane, Victor, Marty, that, some people might not know when it comes to recording and filming the Sandlot.
Man, there's so many. Oh my God.
It was shot in what? The movie was shot in about 45 days or something?
45 days out in there in
45
Utah.
Days.
The hottest summer Utah's ever had.
You guys spent almost as long in like a baseball boot camp before the movie, learning a little bit of baseball, brushing up on the baseball skills, than it did to actually take the whole movie. Is that about right?
Uh-huh. But I think it was also 45 like shooting days, so I think it was 2 months.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we spent a good
crazy
month or so ahead of the movie doing like a baseball boot camp kind of thing. Well, we would all go to the Sportsman's Lodge, which is this like iconic hotel in Studio City. And we would meet there, and we would spend the first half of the day rehearsing, and we would read through. They would, if they had any changes to the script and stuff. And then the second half of the day after lunch, we would all go to a baseball field nearby and just play baseball together for the rest of the day. And we did that for like a month. It was a long time.
And they did a lot of work focusing on making us friends and having that real connection come out on the screen, and it worked, you know.
Well, when you were filming it, did you have any idea like that this was going to become something with this kind of staying power? Like, did you know, I mean, people do multiple projects, right? And, you know, there are people who say, yeah, we knew when we were filming this and this was going to hit home. Did you have any idea? Or are you just like, okay, did this one and move on to the next one? And then, you know, no?
Yeah, for me, I think no idea. No idea.
I think, you know, we just had a great time filming it, and that comes across on screen. And you know, sometimes you film a movie, it's not a fun experience, or you work with people that aren't fun to work with. And with this film, you know, this was definitely a fun experience to work with all these guys. And the director, even though at times he got pissed off because he had to wrangle a bunch of kids and a bunch of dogs, but yeah, it was a great experience. I think, you know, working on
Yeah,
stuff.
and I mean, you never know. I mean, the script was really great. So I mean, I think everybody had a sense that like this could be really good because the script was just. I mean, David and sorry, remind me of the Shane.
Dale or I was thinking of De La Torre. Wow.
Now I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
But anyway, but you know, David wrote this amazing script. And Robert Gunther.
Gunter sounds right.
Yeah. Anyway, David wrote this amazing script, and it was just, we all knew that like it could be something really great, but you know, we've all done other projects where like it was a really great script and the cast was really awesome, and for whatever reason it just didn't come together the way that people thought it would, and this, like, I think everything just came together perfectly, and they just really hit gold. It was awesome. It's everything you like wish for as an actor.
We all got very lucky.
I'm sure you've told the story before, just because, you know, I mean, you probably have now told stories about every 30 seconds of that film. But listening to you guys talk about how, hey, everything's great, we had fun, we were friends, it all comes out, it was a lot of fun to film. How about the carnival scene? Was that fun to film, you know, with Dip and the, you know, the whole deal? How do they even do that? I mean, it's kids, like, you guys all look like you're really yakking. You all really, I hope they didn't give you real dip. But I would believe
it was black licorice and beef jerky. I think it was black licorice and beef jerky and jerky. Yeah, all mixed up together. Yeah, it didn't taste good.
Yeah, and I guess the story, I didn't remember this part, but Grant, who was Bertram, that has the Big Chief, he tells it that they ahead of time they said it's beef jerky. And so we were all like, okay, and we all grabbed like a big wad of it and put it in our mouths expecting beef jerky, and they didn't tell us that they had blended in like black licorice and other stuff with it, so that like that's like a real reaction when we first put that in our mouths and we go, what is this flavor? I was actually lucky because they like ran out of time. They filmed that at night and they only had so much time with us because we were kids. So me and Mike, who played Benny, never got onto the ride with the fake vomit and everything. So we dodged a bullet there. So it was everybody but us. So Shane and Marty could talk about how terrible the vomit was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they
vomit
had
was
little
gross.
pipes in the
That was
side
the worst
of your
part of
face to shoot out the throw up. It was.
Yeah, they had like a pipe coming out attached to like this canister full of like pea soup mixed with a bunch of other nasty. And I'm sorry, I cussed on your podcast. But it shot out. They would press a button, it would shoot out like this pea soup, and by the end of it, we had like this crap all over us, and it was like literally got off the ride, and I was like, like,
yeah.
I mean, literally wanting to really vomit.
It was vomit.
Well, they're going for authentic reaction.
Yeah, it was nasty.
And the ride itself, I mean, I remember
the ride was fun.
I was scared, you know. So
the ride was fun. We rode that thing probably like 15 times in a row. We rode that ride.
Yeah, wonderful.
Well, speaking of fun or scary or both, right? So, Marty, there's one scene. I think you did this. I would imagine it's not a stunt double, at least, you know, watching it. But the scene where you're in like the scoop, right, up the fence. Is that you? You did this?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh my God, I'd be scared.
It was about
First
20.
Of all, imagine they tried to lift you now. It wouldn't happen. They'd need like like the cast of the 300 to do it. But besides, when you were a kid, how'd they convince you to do that?
I mean, I
were
wanted
like,
to
I
do
just
it.
wanna
It's,
do it? Oh,
I mean, nowadays they wouldn't have. Nowadays that wouldn't be legal. Like nowadays, we live in a different society now. But back in the early '90s, they were like, put him up there 25 feet in the air and lower him down, and let's see if he makes it or not. And it was fun. It was fun dangling there, and 20. It was like the tree. I mean, I was at the top of the treehouse when we did that scene, and it was about 25 feet in the air, and then coming over the fence and then being face to face with the giant mechanical dog, the beast head, which was like huge. It was like the size of me now. So it was cool. And
I seem to remember them having a lot of problems with the rig, like when they'd be hoisting you up and getting caught in the tree.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, they would lift me up and the thing kept spinning around, so I would hit my head on the side of the treehouse, and
because it was supposed to be this smooth motion, like right up and back onto the other side, and every time they did it, Marty would spin around and his legs would get caught in the tree.
If you notice, I'm going like this, trying to get the trees away in the movie, like because they kept running me into the tree, so I'm going like this the whole time, trying to,
See, what works for that is, I mean, I wasn't 30 feet up in a treehouse, but we all have that. We all were like, I had a broomstick attached to something in my neighbor's yard to get a baseball out, you name it. So that's what it sells it, right? I mean, not 30 feet in the air dangling up there like you guys built, but I mean, it just hits home, right, on so many levels. God,
it's the magic of movies.
I'm curious, guys, and before I'm excited to get into the future. Like, I want to hear what you guys are up to now. But I've pulled up individually Victor, Shane, and Marty's cards from the Sandlot. I don't know if you guys know this, from 2018 Topps did a release with the Sandlot.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into that, I'm going to do a screen share here in a second. Any of you guys, are you guys card collectors? Have you followed, the sports card or the NFT boom in the last year or so?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all grew up in the 90s, so I think we all had baseball cards, and I still got boxes and boxes of them at my dad's house, and comic books and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then, I mean, with the NFTs coming back around, we actually released a series of trading cards, NFT, that we made from our own behind-the-scenes photos that we had. So it's all like never before seen pictures that we took and turned into like a mocked up to look like a baseball card, and they're totally digital, and you can flip them around, and there's like a back to them, and you can read them, and it's super cool, and the fans really liked them. So we're working on the next series right now, and we've also got some other special limited release stuff that's going to be coming out soon. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, the Boys of Summer.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hello, Marty York. Like, let's go. There you are.
Hey, there's me. There's me explaining what an NFT is.
How do you explain what an NFT is to?
Well, that was, I think, the biggest challenge when we released the first series is just kind of educating people on it, because it's such a new thing that I just saw a statistic that like only 20% of the population even knows what an NFT is in this country, and out of that, only 4% even own one. But it's a type of cryptocurrency where each one is unique. And so unlike Bitcoin, where everyone is the same and they're all valued the same, each one of these NFTs is different. And so the value is different, and it's determined by the market. So it's a lot like trading cards or art or comics or anything else like that, where it's like, it's whatever it's worth is what everyone kind of agrees that it's worth. I mean, at first it's tough to wrap your head around, but like when you think about like music and movies and all that stuff today, like you don't actually own a physical copy of that either. Like all the music and all the movies that you own are all in the cloud. So like you own them, you have digital proof of ownership, but you don't have anything physical, and NFTs are the same way. So, people are using it to create art and collectibles and all kinds of cool stuff. And we're super excited about it. It's a really cool way that the artists are able to really control how they release things to the fans. So we're excited. So
guys in the queue. So if you're following along with this and you want to just check it out, it's boysofsummer.cards. Super, super nice website. I did a little digging before this episode as well. It's really cool stuff, so please go check it out. I'm going to show you guys their Topps cards. I think they're pretty cool.
And you know from, when Archives?
You tell me.
Archives 2018.
We got Timmy Timmons here.
That's funny. So 2018 Archives, I bought a box, opened it with my son, and we got a Kenny Nunez autograph.
Nice.
And I was mad it wasn't Wendy Peppercorn. I'm just saying.
Oh,
it wasn't. I don't think there was a Wendy card, but they did yes, when they released those. They sent us each a whole bunch of them and had to sign them to randomly distribute into the pack.
Yeah, so. we met with Topps representatives and like at a Starbucks or something.
I was at a Starbucks and I met with them. Yeah.
Heck yeah, there we go.
Everybody kept
there you are, Shane.
They could see me signing all these Sandlot cards.
How much is Shane's card? Let's see.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, you gotta tell these guys who give
nice.
them bragging
rights.
Which one sells for the most? Which one sells for the most? Give them the bragging rights. Let's go.
I'm gonna have to do a little research. I don't know the counts on them like that. Let me see. I'll tell you.
It's gonna be Benny. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I don't think Benny.
I think it's gonna be Wendy Peppercorn. It's got to be.
Well, Benny didn't sign anything.
Was there a Wendy card? I didn't think there was a Wendy card. Did they do
Wendy? Yes, Wendy. Oh, cool. There was a Hercules card he didn't sign, but there was a Hercules card.
You gotta have the Hercules, probably the most popular one. I think when Funko did the pops, I'm pretty sure Hercules is the most popular.
They graded us a 7, but no doubt this should be a 10.
Oh, always.
Yeah,
this guy.
Solid 10 right there.
Well, Marley's autograph looks like mine.
She's somebody else who was just waiting for a latte and said, "I'll just scribble something on this." Everybody's meeting at 7-Eleven, at Starbucks for these things. It's crazy. No, but that was cool. I mean, they had. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but like Mickey Evans, your director, he signed cards in that set. Like it wasn't just you guys. It was everybody in there. Small's mom, right? Well, Karen Allen was in that. I mean, it's a pretty crazy large set. It's just another example of the relevance that you guys have in pop culture. It's pretty crazy stuff. Here's what
can I ask something?
Right? Yeah, no, go for it.
Go ahead. Okay, so I just want to ask, like, I imagine growing up, like you guys did the Sandlot, and you got so much notoriety from it. Was there ever a point where you're like, all right, I'm over this and I want to redefine myself. I don't want to just be known as the character that I played on Sandlot. And I'm curious if we could just kind of go around the board. I wanted to start with you on that, Marty.
Yeah, I mean, after Sandlot, my life was like a snowball effect where like I was doing on guest starring roles on TV shows like left and right. I had a recurring role in Boy Meets World, Saved by the Bell, Wings, Sliders, did voiceovers for all the 90s cartoons like Hey Arnold and Doug. And then 2017, I was actually heading to an audition and I fell asleep at the wheel because I was just burnt out by the industry at that point. And I lived about 60 miles outside of Hollywood. So I was, I would wake up every morning at 7, go to school all day, rehearse my lines, and then I would hop my car, travel from school directly to the audition, and then drive back. And it ended up wearing on me. I fell asleep at the wheel, went over a 2-lane. I was on a, 2-lane road, and I went over the thing and hit a car 60 miles an hour head on, broke both my legs, had to relearn to walk again. And that's kind of where my passion for bodybuilding and weightlifting came from, because while I was doing that, I was training with a physical therapist who was teaching me how to like weightlift and train. And I kind of fell in love with that. And after that, I left the business. And, in all honesty, Sandlot for a while wasn't as big as it was a couple of years ago. I mean, it came back like full force, like I've never seen it. Like we did the 20th anniversary in 2013, and that was somewhat big. We went back to the Sandlot. There's about 1,000 people there, and we did, I think, like a AAA stadium or something. And then when we did the 25th, and we did every baseball stadium in the United States, and we were walking through stadiums and people were ripping our clothes off, and they had security surrounding us. And that's when I think it started hitting all of us, because that's when all of us really were together again, that this movie like had grown to something that we didn't even imagine. And and even having professional MLB players walk up to us on the fields and be like, dude, you guys are the reason we play baseball. And that kind of stuff was like, we were like, what is like, we did Dodger Stadium when we did the 25th, and we took the field in our original positions before the game started. I think it was like game 3 against the Giants or something. And when they announced us, like half the stadium stood up and started applauding. And I think at that point we were like, okay, we're back somehow. And
Vic got to throw out you got to throw out the first pitch of the Phillies game, right?
I did, yeah.
A Philly fan, right? That's pretty crazy.
That was a dream come true. That was a dream come true. We've gotten to do a couple first pitches at some different games, but for me, the Phillies was the big one.
Well, here's my question, and it's funny, Goldberg. You know, I said I was gonna ask a question. You jumped in. It's almost along the same lines. You know, when I ask my son what he wants to be when he grows up, he tells me he wants to be LeBron James, right? And I tell him, why not make LeBron James money, but don't look like LeBron James? So you guys, I mean, I have a good memory. Now. I have a good photographic memory. Like I especially Shane. Shane, if I saw you in a Starbucks, I would walk up to you and ask you to just repeat everything I was saying. That I can tell it's you, right? But
I mean, it happens, man. Thank you.
You guys, but that's a good thing, right? I mean, Ham, he probably can't go anywhere.
No, maybe he has a tough time. Yeah.
It's funny because we'll go places. We'll go places with him, and we'll be walking down the street. People will literally drive by and be like, "You're killing me, Smalls!" And we walked into we did Sports Center, and afterwards we walked into a sushi place, and everybody, you see people like. They don't recognize us, but they know him. So I think I'm like his bodyguard or something.
Well, also I think the reaction is a lot bigger. Like I don't really get recognized just out of the blue when I'm walking around, but when we're all together at an event, you can kind of see people like looking back and forth at all of us, and then like all the pieces kind of come together, and then they're just like, "Oh my god!" And
when it hits them, it's a lot of fun. They're floored, you know. Yeah,
which is great. I mean, come on, that's awesome stuff. And I mean, so I gotta know any animosity between Timmy and Tommy here, because Timmy, you had to do all the heavy lifting. Tommy just had to repeat you.
Well, that's what I know. I feel like
does Shane have to give you some of his money?
I feel like I should get a cut of his residuals, don't you? Because he didn't have to learn any dialogue for the whole movie. I had to do all the
preposterous hearsay. I need to speak to my attorney.
You have the Colossus of Clout.
Right. I mean, he had the easiest job in the whole movie.
It was the easiest job.
He did say one line that he didn't repeat. Actually, I realized when I watched the movie.
Is it the one right after the kiss of he's in deep? Because I don't remember them saying that too. Remember after the?
It might have been that one. I know when the fence falls on the dog, he says, "Oh man."
Oh yeah, right. I said he's in deep at the pool.
All right, so that's your own line. That's your original line.
That's all me, buddy, right there. Thank you. Thank you, Marty.
I remember.
That's good. I didn't know that. That's like an Easter egg.
There we go. A little Easter egg in its director's cut by Marty in the 25th anniversary edition of the DVD, the Blu-ray.
We need to do another commentary.
That's for you, Goldberg.
Philly. I mean, I remember watching as a kid and thinking, oh, maybe they cut it out, but like right after Squints gets the kiss. And Timmy says, "Yeah, he's in deep shit." And I'm like, "Wait, why didn't Tommy repeat that? We get 2 questions for the price of one." As a kid, I would have loved it, but you didn't. You didn't repeat that one. So
he actually may have repeated it because I know there was an issue about the number of curse words. So they had to keep it under a certain number. So he may have said it and they cut it out.
I think that's right, actually. Yeah.
It's
Marty,
amazing.
So before this, I was going through your guys' Instagram pages, just doing a little bit, getting to know you guys a little. Marty was just in Cancun, Cage. He was just in Mexico, diving into a cenote. And Cage always gives me a hard time. I've been living in Mexico for the last year. For the people listening, that was a flashback.
That was a flashback from Friday or something. I did that two years ago.
We can really flash back because Vic also went to Mexico, but Andrew is staying in Tulum, and Victor never made it to Tulum. He even did a podcast with his regrets about never making it there.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Actually, big news about the podcast. It's coming back next week. So
that's it. That's what I was asking about, right?
No, we all were in Mexico, the 3 of us together.
That's
and
right. That was a cruise ship, right?
Yes,
cruise ship. Right?
Yeah. And Marty went to Tulum, and I didn't go with him because I was like, He's like, I don't know if I want to get out in the middle of the jungle with Marty. You know what I mean? But then afterwards, I regretted it. I wish because just seeing all the video and the pictures that he had, I was like, oh man, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
So
that's Andrew's.
If you actually dive down in those cenotes, there's like skulls from like Mayans that sacrificed people, and there's literally skulls still at the bottom of the cenote. You swim down there and you can see the skulls, and it's freaky, man. It's like the spirit.
You saw skulls when you were down there?
Yeah, man. There's like human skull. There's human skulls in there. It's crazy.
All right. I don't need to see that.
Mexico has a lot of tradition. You got Aztec, Mayan. It's beautiful. The culture is amazing. I just saw pictures, and it was cool that you guys went. Cage always gives me a hard time because I've been living in Mexico for a little while.
But we're not allowed to say exactly where because
that'd be awesome.
Federales are after them. So we
can't say why. We can't say where.
Well, Vic, you did the podcast, 42 or 43 episodes, Vic in a Box. It took a little bit of a break, maybe a little COVID break, so it's coming back. Talk about that a little.
Yeah. It was put on pause for a little while. I just got too busy for it. I did everything myself, all the production and the engineering of it and all that stuff, just kind of for fun because I enjoy that kind of thing. But I was a little too busy for it. But now, I don't know. I miss it. So we're getting it going again, and I'll be back within the next. I think we're going to be recording at the end of the week, so it should be within the next week or two. Next episode.
Community help. Goldberg volunteers. He can help. He is a podcast whiz. We've been doing this for about a year. We have an episode every day. Over 3.
He's got time. Episodes. He's just hanging out in Mexico, just chilling. Exactly. So he's got free time.
I wouldn't say I'm just chilling. I'm also like Marty. I love health and fitness. I played soccer my whole life, and I ended my soccer career on an ACL injury. So like ever since then, I've been trying to live healthy, and so I'm not sitting around, Vic. But I always have time for friends and people I admire, like you guys.
Awesome.
Let's hit it up when I'm in Philly, man. Let's hit it up.
That's it.
When are you coming?
Well, we're actually be in Philly. I'll be in Philly. The end of.
I'm gonna actually be in Philly this weekend, but you're in Mexico, so we can't. I'd say we.
What are you guys coming to Philly for in the summer? It's so hot. It's so humid. It's muggy. What's bringing you guys?
Well,
to the city?
my whole family's in that area. My family's in like Wilmington, Delaware,
or Delaware.
Greater Philadelphia area. So I'm just going back over 4th of July for a little visit.
I'm doing a golf tournament there the end of July with Shooter McGavin and should be interesting.
I want to.
I didn't know you were a golfer.
He doesn't have to.
I'm not. Golf. I got to practice, man. I suck.
Every time they leave, they just suck me back in. Must be something they put in the water.
Something in the water. Something in the water. No way. So you're going to Philly. You hit Evil Genius. You grab a 6-pack of what do you call it? You Killing Me Smalls beer, and you hit it. You get it on the cart, and you and Shooter McGavin. You just do lines from the movies all day. No one's gonna care about golfing.
You're dead, Shooter.
That's it. Yeah, I'll be. You can count, and I'll be waiting for you in the parking lot. You can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. I had to shoot the ball off of Frankenstein's fat foot. I can't quote the wrong movie, guys. I got the Sandlot guys here. I can't be quoting.
That's a great movie.
Can you do the voice? Can you do the Adam Sandler voice? You're dead, Shooter.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, I think you did all right. Listen, so guys, we do
so on our show, Cage does one-liners every single episode, and they all go over my head.
Yeah, he's not a movie guy. I sneak a movie line, at least one in every episode.
I've seen Sandlot. Probably 5 times, but I'm not really a big movie guy.
Well, you've seen Sandlot 5 times. What's your favorite part of Sandlot?
When they try to get the ball back from the dog.
The whole movie, they're trying to get the ball back from the dog. That's the whole movie.
You told me it's like 75%. Yeah.
The dip part is funny, but it happened to me like when you're a freshman on the buses. Some of the older guys.
About Happy Gilmore? I like when they play golf. Come on, dude.
Ask you, what do the older guys make you put dip in? Because like the can I talk? The soccer trips are a little bit long. I make you put dip, and my head just went nuts. So like I empathize with the whole dip thing.
That's funny.
Listen, I liked the whole you play ball like a girl. I liked it, because that was real. That was real. When I was 11, 12, you'd have opposing factions in the neighborhood come and challenge you on your turf. Someone from the other block would come play stickball with you guys. That hit home for me. But the whole movie's great. So you're right. I'll give you a pass, Andrew. The part where they're trying to get the ball is enough. So listen, guys, we do a podcast every day, mostly about sports cards. We talk about alternate investments. So we're glad to talk about your NFT. But right now, the first people who are seeing this this interview are on HGA, Hybrid Grading Association's hybrid grading approach, the queue for getting cards graded, right? So people they buy cards, they get the cards graded, 1, 2, kind of like Andrew showed you a 7 on that Wendy Peppercorn autograph. So, we have to ask about cards. I mean, did you guys collect as kids? Do you collect now? Do you collect any, if it's not cards, do you have any memorabilia? Any of you guys keep anything from when you film? Do you buy stuff now for the set? I could take this anywhere you want to go. What kind of
I got a couple things there.
I could show you some cool cards.
That's the back of the chair from the Sandlot right there.
Look at that.
Yeah, and then that's Allen Iverson autograph right there.
He's got
and then this Goldberg. This is a football signed by Jason Kelsey, and I got him to write, "No one likes us, we don't care."
I love it.
I got a Randall Cunningham autograph rookie card. There's a Mike Tyson glove. Pete Rose baseball. I got a baseball signed by like the entire cast of the Sandlot and the whole crew. It's like all the key positions in the Sandlot signed it. It's pretty awesome.
So this is like the original card that we got. We did a tour after we did the movie. And this was the original
card.
Yeah, the 93 card. And then this is the baseball signed by the whole cast.
But not Babe
Mike
Ruth.
Vitar in there. No, I got Art LaFleur on here as well. Art LaFleur's right there, the Babe right there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's freaking sick.
Yeah. And this was
Shane, what about you?
Cards.
You're a collector? You're a musician?
I collect comics, a lot of old music stuff, but sports. After the Sandlot, I didn't stay in tune with the sports world that much. I went into the music and movies and whatnot. I mean, tons of comics, tons of toys, action figures and stuff. But I stayed out of the baseball, the sports world, man. I got nothing cool to compare with Vic's wall of awesome over there,
My wife put this together for me, though. I can't take credit for that. Yeah, I got PF Flyers. I'll sign PF Flyers up there. That's the shoebox that was the original press kit where those baseball cards were in, and there was all kinds of weird stuff in there. There was like a pen shaped like a baseball bat, and there was
leash. I think
a dog leash. That's right. It was all kinds of weird stuff. Wow. So I got all that, and I got the original shoebox that it all came in. But I got boxes and boxes of cards, like at my dad's house from when I was a kid, and I know now that they're like the value's coming back around on those. So I need to go back through and dig because, I mean, I think anything from probably 87, 88 through like 94, 95, I probably have like every brand and every card because I was like real serious about it.
Check this out.
Sitting on some money there, bro.
This is signed by Mike Tyson right there.
Tyson.
And there's me and Tyson right there.
Heck yeah.
What was that experience like? What was meeting Mike Tyson like?
It was like meeting a unicorn.
He was really cool. Tyson, I mean, I've heard it from like meeting like people, but he's like a super funny guy, super personable. He was awesome. He was really cool.
Nice guy.
Tyson was like amazing. One of the nicest guys, one of the humblest guys.
I'd be scared to meet Tyson, but Marty swims with skulls, so he's not scared of anything.
Yeah, no fear, Marty.
Yeah, Tyson was way cool, man. Like it was just surreal when me and Vic were there the first time we actually met him, and it was like surreal, like looking at him like, holy shit, that's Mike Tyson right there.
See, Vic went over all this stuff, but if you look on the floor, if he pans his camera down, you see he used to have this really nice Ben Simmons framed autographed jersey, but it's on the floor. It's all broken.
It's in. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Actually, hanging in my closet, I got an autographed game worn Carson Wentz jersey. I don't know what to do with that. So if anybody wants it, just DM me. I'll send it to you.
Do you think he makes a resurgence on the Colts this year?
I don't know, man. I'm more worried about Jalen Hurts and what he's going to do on the Eagles. No, you know what? I hope so. I hope he does, and I hope he has a Hall of Fame career, and then I can sell the Eagles jersey.
Exactly. Exactly. You got a jersey. You got to root for him.
Because I can't display it now.
That man has a Super Bowl ring.
He does, and you know what? We wouldn't have gotten that far if it wasn't for him. So I was actually at the Rams game where he got injured that year.
So I'll tell you guys my collection. I'm a little older. So I collected right around the time where you collected, Vic, 87 and 94, but I got really into it with a younger brother in 1993. And I really wish that I was 7 years younger. I say this all the time because I have the world's biggest, I don't care, his mom might think she has I have the biggest collection of Drew Bledsoe cards. And they're all worth nothing. But if I collected 7 years later, I would be the biggest collector of Tom Brady, and I would be wealthy.
Yeah,
it's just the way it works sometimes. It's just the way it works. So I have a whole bunch of coasters that have Drew Bledsoe's face on them, and no Tom Brady cards. I hate Tom Brady.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's the way collecting works. It is what it is.
So guys,
you gotta. We
have so how the queue works for HGA. There's thousands of people waiting right now to get their cards graded, and they're picked in an order. Talk to us. I know all of you guys individually have projects. You probably do some things collectively. I'm curious, Shane, is there anything that the audience here who's listening could support? And we'll go to Vic and Marty after, because I want to make sure that we shed a light on what you're doing now, because you're obviously three talented guys, and we want to be a part of what you're doing.
Thank you. I mean, Vic mentioned the NFTs. Follow us on socials for all the links for that stuff. We've got the second batch coming out. I don't know when. Vic might have a better idea, but soon.
It'll be out in late July, and in the next couple of weeks, we got a super cool limited release that we're doing. It's going to be a numbered lithograph, super exclusive. So keep your eyes out for that too. That's going to be really cool. It's going to be a physical print, numbered print with a NFT.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we all got the Disney Plus show that's getting ready to kick back up. As soon as we get that phone call, the script's ready to go. We're all ready to go, but we're waiting to get that call, and we'll start filming that. That's the next big thing for all of us, But we're all doing good.
Yeah. I mean, we're all. I think the biggest thing on all of our minds right now, just with the summer and the Sandlot getting played over and over again, is the Disney Plus series that we had a meeting, a couple years ago, where they laid out the whole thing. And now the pilot's written. They've got the Bible for at least the first season done, and they have a plan through like 5 seasons. I mean, when they were pitching it to us, it was crazy how far ahead they were looking. So, we can't say a lot about the story, but I can tell you that they're all very cool. If you watch the end of the movie, that'll give you some hints, as to what happens to all of us. But it's us, like, as adults with our own kids that, and then the kids have storylines and we have our storylines, and it's very cool.
It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
So you never know in this industry whether something's going to happen or not until you're on set. So if it happens, though, it's going to be very cool. I think the fans will really.
Ham's doing his part, though, right? I mean, his son got a black eye a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that.
I saw him on there on the TikTok with the whole today years old or whatever he's doing.
Yep. It's like, just put that on it. Let that sit there.
Yeah. I actually
really doing
a film that's going to be coming out in July. It's little B horror movie kind of thing, super campy. It's a vampire film written and directed by Glenn Danzig from the Misfits. So keep your eyes out for that. It's called Death Rider in the House of Vampires. Devin Sawa's in it, and Eli Roth, and Danny Trejo, and there's a whole bunch of cool cameos. And if you like campy horror movies,
what you got right there.
Yeah,
Devin did the one with the hand walking around, and
that's right.
Danny's machete, and you got all the horror movies.
Yeah, Eli Roth. Yeah, so
it's
good. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. If you like, those that genre, that kind of B horror movie, campy vampire movie thing, it's great.
And Marty's not doing anything. He's in the market for a physical trainer. He needs to get in shape. Someone, if you're watching this and you need to,
No, actually,
Marty's looking.
I'm gonna be launching kind of like a Sandlot inspired workout line of products like pre-workouts and proteins. So I got a pre-workout. I'm actually working on it with Vic and Grant, and we're going to start that up pretty soon. Obviously, the NFTs. Look for our NFT drop coming out next month.
But yeah, so if you want to look like Marty, we're gonna put the products.
We're gonna pump you up.
We'll let you go, but I need you to make me one promise, Marty. No protein shakes flavored like beef jerky and licorice.
Oh, dude, you just gave me a beautiful idea. Thank you. Right? It'll be called Cha.
Big Chief.
Big Chief.
Yeah,
Protein.
the Bertram blend, right?
Yeah, the Bertram. Dude, you just gave me an idea, man.
That's good.
There you go. There you go. I do what I can.
He gets royalties. He's like Mr. Wonderful of the sports card world.
These guys.
Well, you recorded this, so yeah, I got to give you royalties now.
They paid for it in spades. I'll waive the royalty. I've watched that movie so many times. You guys have earned that and 50 other ideas. I'm glad to give it to you. Thank you, guys. I mean, it's just a huge.
I have one more question for Marty.
Yeah, please go ahead.
One more question, because I know he does cameos, and I want to hear the weirdest thing someone asked you to do a cameo for.
Oh, the weirdest. I had one recently. It was a girl was like, "Hey, I really had a crush on Benny the Jet, but I want you to do a cameo for me." So I kind of like was like, "Hey, I know you were expecting Benny, but you know, in all honesty, he's the one that runs like a duck now. He couldn't make it out today, so I had to." But I said, he's helping people. He's a firefighter, and I don't know. I've never had a cameo that was too weird. It's more like in person meeting people. I've signed weird. We signed somebody's iPhone, the front of their iPhone. Like, remember we signed the glass of the front. I'm like, how are you going to use your phone now? Like, I'm like, you want to send it back?
Started or something.
Yeah. You want to send it back? No, sign the front. I'm like, okay. That was I signed a bunch of stuff at In-N-Out one time, the burger joint over here. Mm-hmm. I was literally going through the drive-thru and like I was stopped at the drive-thru and a bunch of the lady goes, she goes, are you yeah? I go, yeah, how'd you recognize me? She goes, hold on a minute. Every single employee left the people at the counter and they were handing me like the hats and the trays and the paper plates and yeah.
That was probably when there was a time we were at the Dodgers game and somebody was trying to get one of us to hold their baby, and I think that Marty ended up picking up their baby.
Oh yeah,
I think you did hold.
They were passing it up. We were in the
somebody told us to hold their
above them, and they were passing the baby up because they wanted one of us to take it.
Somebody literally wanted us to hold their baby over the balcony like Michael Jackson or something. Like they were like holding. We were at Angel Stadium.
Yeah, they go hold it out, and Marty goes, "I'm not gonna be on camera."
The lady held her baby up and was like, "Hold on to my baby," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna dangle your baby like 15 feet in the air." I'm like just not doing that. Yeah, that was weird.
So they compromised. Shane signed the baby's outfit. Marty was holding the baby, and we're all good. You know, everybody was happy.
It was a team effort in the end. Everyone was happy.
We held Shane over the side instead.
Yeah. I'm the shortest one, so it's just throw me up there.
That's it. Listen, we appreciate it. We like to keep these things to those 45 minutes. We don't want to hold you over. And, you know, I'm sure everybody who's watching this in the queue, you know, enjoyed it. And on behalf of all of them that don't get to talk to you, a big thank you. Because, you know,
thank you.
I'll keep watching the movie. My kids watch the movie. This was a lot of fun to get to chat with you guys. And, you know, we'll all be on the lookout for the NFTs and the Disney Plus show. Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being on. I hope we did a good job hosting. You know, when it's 5 people like this, it's a little bit more difficult, but I think it was free flowing. I think the audience is going to have a ton of fun with it.
Easy for me.
Very good. Very good.
Good time. Thanks, man.
Thank you, gents. Thank you,
Birds.
We wish you all the best. Go Birds.
Thank you so much.